to say I still love my husband. It broke my heart. It broke my heart in a million pieces. Relations. Not to toot my own horn, but toot. God damn it. Toot, the motherfucking toot. Toot damn man. At this point, we don't fucking care. I'm gonna stick beside him. That's my man. That's my problem. I'm trying to make some shit work. That's the real issue, kid. You can tell me you cheated on me, but you can't tell me you had a wife. Okay, so I want to start off by saying that everybody's relationship is different and nobody has a perfect relationship. So I met my husband online on a website called blackpeoplemeet.com. I know that sounds really ancient, doesn't it? It's actually still a valid dating website that's still active today. We met there like 2016, maybe like March, April, May, somewhere in that springtime era. And by the time summertime came, we were married. We were married in August. So we met and married within like 3-4 months, something like that. The conversations that we had was not the typical conversation that you will have when you're thinking about marriage. I mean, we did talk about marriage a lot, and I let him know at that time I was really into my Christianity. And I told him I did not want to have sex until I was married. Like, that was my rule. And I thought that that's what triggered the marriage talk. But my husband is from Nigeria. He was visiting family here in the United States. He was living in Arizona. He was living in Arizona at the time. Messaged me, and he was just like, the way he was typing, I knew he was foreign. Like, he wasn't typing like an American, you know? You can always tell. Y'all know you can always tell. Which kind of intrigued me because I've never had a relationship outside of my own African American race. And I know the stigma about dating, African men trying to get their green card and stuff like that. And that's some of the things that my family members warned me about. And I did not care. Thought process was that if you're here to get a green card, then let them get a green card. People want to come to America. What's wrong with that? I also felt like it's more than that. This is love. We have an attraction. We had an immediate attraction to each other. I had immediate attraction to him. His accent is really, really what got me, girl. Really and truly. Okay? Didn't listen to the naysayers. Went ahead and dated him, which is so funny because there was an African guy that I was talking to at the same time that he was messaging me that was like in my neighborhood. Like, he lived in my neighborhood, and we had a date. We were setting up a date to go running. And I really opted out of him because he was honest with me, which every day I think about my marriage, I think about I should have went with the other guy. I should have went with the other African guy because he already had been here. He already had a green card. He had a job, had a car, had an apartment, but he was like, he's still married to his wife, but they're not living together, they're separated, and he still goes over there once in a while to help fix things and hang out with them and stuff. And I felt like that was too messy. I felt like that was too messy for me. But now I feel like he was being honest, whereas my husband was not. It wasn't a catfish type of thing. We did actually see each other when we talked. I could tell that he wasn't happy with the way my body type. I could tell he wasn't happy with that. But I felt like he was like, this is something that, it's not a deal breaker for me. Because he wanted that damn citizenship. And we decided to meet up. He came at the end of July to visit, but he got a round trip ticket, but he never left. We started living together right away, and it was really hard for Raymond, who was going through his teenage years. TJ didn't live with me at that point. He lived with his dad, and even TJ had some issues with that, which that wrestled with me, a little bit. when it came to me, like, Kim, what kind of decisions are you making? Are you considering your kids? Are you considering how they feel and stuff? And I was not. I was going against every inkling that God was trying to throw at me. I was going against family recommendation. I was going against my kids. I was going against God. I was going against my own intuition or the Holy Ghost or whatever you guys choose to call it. I was going against everything in me and just hoping that everything would turn out right. That was my mistake. Kind of like all the red flags, right? All of them. All the red flags was just like, whistles was blowing, red flags everywhere. He was very secretive about it. He like never really opened up and like told me his heart. You know, when he get drunk, he says some stuff, but you know, you never know if he's telling the truth or not because he's such a liar. I think that my recommendation, and I know this, like I tell people this all the time, go with your gut. Like if you feeling like something ain't right, something probably ain't right. You feeling like he lying about something, he probably lying about something. If you feeling like, you know, you moving too fast, you probably moving too fast. Like, but for me, I was such a timid person back then that I didn't want to be wrong. And I didn't want to like let him down. What if, you know, I would let him down, he won't be able to get his citizenship. And my idea of the things that I thought he was lying about is that he had a whole wife and kids back in Africa. He was lying about that. He had a wife. He didn't have kids yet, but he had a wife in Africa. But she wasn't in Africa at the time. She was actually traveling. She was in London. But, you know, they got married in Nigeria. So I was like, what if he never gets to realize his dream, and I could be a big part of that. And I was excited to be a part of helping him become a citizenship, even if we didn't work out. The problem was I had a baby. That's where things like went south. Prince is waking up now, so I want to be a little bit quiet. But when I had Prince, he wanted me to have an abortion. I had never had an abortion before. I was always against abortion, but always for, you know, for myself, but always for women to have their own choice about what they wanted to do. So we went to this like clinic thing so I can just get some information about how it works, right? And he went with me and stuff like that. And they was giving me like a whole lot of options and telling me what choices I had and stuff, and going over the cost and all of that. And then they took me to this medical room. They did an ultrasound and I got to see Prince. Once I saw him, that was it. I had made up my mind, I'm not killing this baby. Look at him, he's so cute. He's so cute. I'm not killing this baby. And I could tell he was not happy with that. And he was scared. He was scared. He did not know what he was going to do. I can tell he was in his head about a lot of things. He wasn't sharing with me his feelings, but now that I do know a little bit more about him, I know he was scared. Says this is when he started to take the relationship more seriously. More seriously as in I have to take care of my kid. Not more seriously as like I need to be honest with her. Not that kind of serious. No. That's a no-go. Being honest, no. But doing what I got to do to take care of my kid, yeah, I can do that. He was into fraud before he came here, and I think he's still doing it now. Child, who knows? I think there's times when he tries to fly right and not do it, just like drug dealers, you know. Fraud is like the drug dealers. Fraud for Africans or Nigerians are like drug dealers here in America. It's like, it's fast, easy money for them. They don't care who it hurts. They don't care who get hooked on drugs. They just trying to make a quick buck so they can feed their family and do what they need to do. Same thing for fraud. For Africans, they feel like Americans have so many benefits when it comes to fraud. Like if somebody takes money out of your bank account, you can get it back if you do a claim. So it's like they're not really missing out on anything. That's their thought process. He said when he came to America, he wanted to start a whole new life. He wanted to not do that stuff. But when he found out I was pregnant, we had already applied for citizenship, we had already gotten married and all that, but he couldn't work during this time. So he did what he had to do, and he went back to what he knew. He got caught, he went to prison for 18 months, like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Once he got arrested, I kid you not, like a few weeks later, his work authorization card came in the mail. If he had just held out for a few months, he would have been able to get a job. We would have been okay, right? He was just thinking, I'm like, man, I can't take care of my kid. I can't provide for my family. And to an African man, that is definitely something that really, really hits home for them. They respected that. Once I realized, because I didn't know he was into that. I mean, the FBI just came and busted down our doors and ramshacked my house and went through everything and opened up all my drawers, and like all my personal stuff was out. It was a very traumatic experience. If you have ever seen it like on the movies, it's just like that, and Prince was 3 weeks old at this point. Okay, so I was holding him in my arms, and they didn't even have a warrant. They lied to get us to open the door. They said that it was here to do the interview for the citizenship. And so, of course, we wanted to open the door. I'm like, but I was thinking to myself, that's something you have to schedule. You have to go to you have to go to them to do the interview. So this was odd that they were coming to us, but I'm not finna miss this opportunity. So I opened the door, and lo and behold, they were there to arrest him, not to do no interview. So they will lie to you. They will say whatever they gotta say. They will lie to you. So after he went to prison, I think that was the most honest that he was. And he still didn't tell me he had a wife, but that was the most honest that he was in this relationship. He admitted a lot of things to me. He admitted that he had cheated on me with some girl at Walmart while I was pregnant. He went to Texas to do some of the crime that he was doing. And while he was there, he was looking for women. He said he cheated on me. He was like, he's been holding that back from me for so long. He always wanted to tell me. I was like, you can tell me you cheated on me, but you can't tell me you had a wife? Okay. Yeah, I see his honesty is very, very limited. We was thinking about what we were going to do as far as how we were going to keep our family together when he got out of prison, because when he got out of prison, he was definitely going to be deported. We already knew that. And we could either fight it, make a different plan. So I felt like we should make a different plan. And all that money to try to fight it, it will be, and the chances are going to be very slim to none. There will be no point in fighting it. And I have always wanted to live in Africa, and I wanted Prince to know his heritage and his culture and to grow up like an African kid. So of course we will be coming back and forth, which is what my dream was, to come back and forth to see my family here. So he has the best of both worlds. That was our plan, right? So he gets out of prison and he turns into a completely different person. Should have known that was coming, right? Because all that talk that he was talking to me was just prison talk. Like they say, they have so much plans. When I get out, this is going to happen. When I get out, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and we're going to be so... It was the most amazing part of our relationship. He wrote letters. He wrote love letters telling me how much he loved me and how much he wanted to be with me, how he missed me, how I was his angel. And, you know, never had anybody write me letters before. So, of course, I was very much in love with him while he was in prison. And I'm going to stick beside him. That's my man. But when he got out, he started partying. From one party to the next. I don't know what's going on with this one. Okay, let's see, can I fix this is ugly. Just his excuse was that everybody was so happy to see him and they wanted to take him out. And for a minute, I'm like, okay, all right, I get that. People like, oh, he's back home and blah blah blah. Let's celebrate. Yeah, that makes sense, right? But during that time that he was on it celebrating, he was still making sure he talked to me every day. He was still showing me love. He was still acting like that we were going to be together. We were still planning when I was going to come down and all this stuff. And then, unbeknownst to me, around this time, this is when his wife traveled back from London, and they was living in a hotel together. Because I remember he moved because he was with a bunch of dudes at first. And I remember he moved to this hotel. And he was like, he was tired of being around all those guys. All they do is smoke weed and, party and stuff. I was like, okay, well now maybe things are starting to calm down. And it was, but it wasn't for me. It was for her. Things were calming down for her because she was back in town. I guess she heard he was back in town and she was like, oh, I'm going to go get my man. And I don't blame her. Their story is that they had been together for about 5 years before he decided to travel to America. So I don't know. This side is just gonna have to be ugly. I mean, it's not ugly, but it just ain't giving. It ain't giving. Because if I keep messing with it, it's gonna be like, let's just start all over. So anyway. They were together for 5 years before, and they met on Facebook or something like that. And they were together 5 years before he decided to travel to America. She was feeling like she needed some sort of like stability, some sort of assurance, something to secure their relationship if he was going to be traveling. And so he married her to secure the relationship. He didn't do a big wedding, just like with me. We went to the courthouse. They went to the courthouse there in Nigeria, and they just, legally got married. They didn't do any celebrations, any weddings, or anything like that. To hear him tell it, what he tells me, which he's a liar, so we don't know how much of this is true. When he left, he had no plans on going back. No plans on going back to her. No plans on going back to Nigeria. He wanted to start a whole new life in America. But he also told me that he was supposed to go back, but when he got here, he saw how beautiful it was that he wanted to stay. So those are two stories that he has told me. Okay, so we don't know which one is which. At this point, we don't fucking care. I remember her, right? It didn't click until I went to Nigeria, but I remember her. I remember I was up late one night. His phone was like going off or whatever, and I saw messages on his phone to her, and I called my best friend, and you know how best friends are. My best friend, she didn't go off. She was just like, well, what are you going to do? What do you want? And that's what I love about my best friend. She's not going to judge me and try to make me go or be or do or take action in the way that she would take action. But she wanted to know what I was going to do. How do I feel about it? And I kind of wasn't mad because I felt like he already had a family in Nigeria. So I wasn't mad. I just wanted to talk to him about it. So I woke him up, we talked, and he was just like, it's just some girl. She's nobody. You know how they is. That's some girl that I was talking to before I left. Still, that would have been a great opportunity to tell me that he was married to her, but no, just some girl. My ex-girl. That's what he called her, his ex. So I asked to see pictures of her and stuff, and he showed me some pictures, but I don't even think that was her. I think he just showed me pictures of some random girl, right? I don't even think that was her. But regardless of the fact, that was her, right? So speed up to like last year. Well, speed up to like, he's back in Nigeria now. He started being very distant. very distant. Said that he was working. He wasn't working. He wasn't. He was making, I mean, he was, but he was making a life for his wife. He was still promising me things like, yeah, I'm going apartment hunting today so I can find us an apartment. And the plan still was for me to come and live there, right? That was still the plan. I'm apartment hunting today. I was like, oh, well, babe, put me on camera when you go to the apartment so I can see and I can say yes or no, so I can be a part of the process. He never did. He never did. Next thing I know, I see a different background. Everything is decorated and stuff. And I'm just like, where are you at? And he would say he's at a friend's house, or he never said he got an apartment. And then he would get mad. He would get mad when I started asking him questions. And that's how you know when a man is lying. When they start getting mad, it's because they don't want to lie to you. But they ain't going to tell you the truth. So they get mad and frustrated. So I started to get a lot of attitude. I started to get a lot of hesitation when it's like me asking him things. And I'm still trying to plan for me to come to Nigeria and live there. Like, I'm still planning to live there, and he's making a life with his wife. Okay. And I remember one time he was going out to the store. He was like, his boss gave him like money to go out and shop for a desk for his new office. Child, he was buying furniture for that damn house. He was buying furniture for his apartment for his wife. And I know that now, but at the time I didn't know it. I mean, I just felt like it was really funny. It was just his lies was not adding up. Stuff was not adding up, right? So I time moved on, and then I would start to hear a baby in the background when I talked to him, because he would talk to me while he's at the house with his wife. She knew about me. That's why he could sit there and talk to me while he's with her. I mean, I would hear her in the background sometimes, and he would say, oh, that's just his co-workers telling him that it's time to go back to work now. And I'm like, but you work from home. Okay. And he would be putting on clothes. I'm like, you getting dressed at work? And he'd be in a house, and he'd be like, oh, well, my boss sells houses. He rents houses, so he let us use this one house. And I just be like, something ain't right. You know how we know, but we don't say nothing? That's me. Maybe that's not y'all, but that was me. Because I wanted everything to work out so badly. But when I started hearing babies in the background, crying and stuff like that, and then one day he just got super comfortable, right? And he was in his bedroom, the bedroom that he shared with his wife, his first wife. And the way he angled the phone, I could see a photograph above the bed of him and a woman, like hugged up, like we're together photograph, right? And this is our bedroom. And then that's when everything started to unfold. Because there's no way he could lie about that. Like, I saw that firsthand. How you going to explain that one? And he didn't. For a long time, he didn't. He ended up, things just started going back and forth. Like, I would break up, and then he would tell me he didn't want to be without me, and he missed me and stuff like that. And we'll get back together, break up, get it. It was just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, literally today we were together, tomorrow we wasn't, next week we was together, then 2 weeks later we're not. And it was back and forth, like constantly, consistently back and forth. Till he finally told me he had a wife. He was out with his friend riding around. I think he had been drinking too. So he had told me that he had 2 wives. And although I was mad for a minute, but then I was just like, okay, I kind of knew this. Like I said in the very beginning, I anticipated that he had a wife, or a wife and kids. But at that point, he didn't have any kids, but he did have a wife. So I was like, I anticipate this. I said, okay, so now I'm a sister wife. Okay, that could work. You know, we can all live together in the same house. I started looking up, you know, thruples and, you know, polyamorous relationships and stuff like that. I think I can work with it. I think I would just like to meet her, see if, you know, we get along. She did not want to talk to me. Okay, she did not. She did not. So she didn't until I actually showed up in Nigeria. She said she just didn't want to talk to me on the phone. She wanted to have a face-to-face conversation. But when I got to Nigeria, she was still avoiding me. But I just got on the phone with her. And I was just like, look, we need to meet right now. I'm coming over tonight. And she was just like, well, not tonight. So we arranged for it to be the next day. There is a video of me in Nigeria and how that whole thing went down. I will link it down below. I did not record the conversation, but okay. But I still felt for her because it's like, you was with him for 5 years. He didn't give her a proper wedding. And then as soon as he marries her, he leaves and goes to America. I think that was the plan though. To me, like they making it seem like it was, she said as soon as he traveled, she traveled. So he went to America, she went to London. They get married at the courthouse and then they travel. I feel like that was the strategy. If you get your citizenship in London, I'm gonna come with you. If you get your citizenship in America, I'm gonna go to America. It was just like divide and conquer. That's what I think. It may not be true, but it makes sense. So I think she very much knew about me. And she acted like she didn't know anything. Whatever. Okay, guys. So I was running out of this Bella Galore. It's dried out. It's gone. We need to buy some more. So I'm using this Kiss magnetic eyeliner for lash glue for this side. It kind of comes out really heavy, and I do not have a steady hand. So when I went to Nigeria and I demanded to meet her, we met up at this like mall, and we sat down at a table. We had a conversation, an adult conversation, a mature conversation. And to this day, I'm so glad that I did it that way. Because basically, I was looking to see if I could really get along with this person as a sister wife. I wasn't looking to have a fight. I wasn't looking to be like bad bitch. I wasn't looking to be accusing her of anything. I just wanted to know her side of the story. I wanted to see if I could get along with her, and I wanted to like spend time with her, get to know her, because eventually she's going to be around my son, and it's important for me to know the person that's going to be around my son. And that's it, and that's all. She held back a lot. She didn't really show me her true personality. Of course, it was her first time meeting me, so I didn't expect her to be like super open. I am an open book. You guys know that about me, because I tell y'all guys a lot. And there's still a whole lot y'all don't know. That's a whole lot y'all don't know, but I tell you guys a lot. I'm an open book, you know? So she wasn't 100% open with me, but it's okay. So when we met, it was not, there was some anxiety, but it was not any negativity. And that's what I love about it. She did lie before she lied. I just feel like Africans in general are liars. I don't care how y'all feel about it. I'm sorry if I'm hurting people's feelings out there who may be African. But Africans are liars, and they lie because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But it just makes no sense to me. Just tell the damn truth. And not to say that Americans ain't liars too, because there's a whole lot of American liars. By the way, this is the Lip Bar tint, just a tint. It's like tinted moisturizer. Tinted moisturizer. That's what this is. But everybody lies. Okay, men lie, women lie, Africans lie, Americans lie, Chinese lie, Asians lie. But I just find that it's very hard to get like the honest to God truth the first time. It broke my heart. It broke my heart in a million pieces that my favorite sister-in-law did not tell me that he was married. Broke my heart. Of course I forgave her, because you know it's really not her job to tell me. It's Daniel's job to tell me. And I think she was just trying to keep the peace. But I wish somebody would have told me. Because a few weeks before I arrived, that's when I found out about the baby. That's when he came clean about the baby. And he put him up on the camera, and I was able to meet him, and Prince was able to talk to him and stuff like that. And I think that was very mature of him. But so that I knew exactly what I was getting into coming to Africa, right? I wanted to spend more time with her. Like after we met, we gained an understanding. I asked her what she wanted, and she actually came from a family that was a polyamorous family, where her mom was a sister wife to her dad. I don't know how many wives he had, but she didn't like that lifestyle. She didn't like growing up in a polyamorous life. She thinks it's really unfair to the women, and I would agree with her. She didn't want to be in a polyamorous relationship. She didn't want to be in this situation, and I didn't either. But I also felt like she said she would never leave him, and I think that's something that I think Africans value more than Americans, is staying together once you get married. Here in America, child, we would divorce you for looking at somebody wrong. We do not care, okay? We're not gonna stick around. You messing up my vibe, you messing up my aura. We don't stick and stay, okay? We don't, because we know we have options. America is a free. We're very blessed over here. We're very blessed, and I think that for her, even though she didn't want this lifestyle, this wasn't what she wanted. She wasn't going to leave him, and she told me that. She said, "We are one." I said, "You would never think about divorcing him." She's like, "No, never." And he knows that. That's why he does whatever he wants to do, because he knows that. But with me, and he told me too, he's like, "We know what we get into when we date Americans. We know that y'all are not going to like tolerate a lot of stuff and stuff like African women do. We know that." So he knows with me he might lose me, but with her he ain't gonna never lose her. He ain't gonna never lose her. He might lose her like mentally, like emotionally. And she told me herself, she was like, "I just live my life." She was like, "He cheats on me all the time. I just live my life." And I'm just like, wow, what a strong woman that can stay with somebody who she knows is not honest. I just was looking at her like, I could never. But really, Kim, maybe I can, because I'm still in this situation. Partially. I'm not fully in, because I'm living my life too. Just like her. I'm not like out here looking forward to date anybody or anything like that. But I am, I have my little sneaky link. I have my own life. I don't even see him or talk to him very often. Just recently, I found out they were having another baby, and that ticked me off. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna live my life, just like she said. She advised me before I left. We try to have like a little spa day together. So we went and got our nails done and our toes done. We went to the grocery store. And I think that was about it. There's a video on that too, so I'll link that down below. But she told me, she was just like, I would advise you not to leave him. She's like, it's not going to make a difference. If you divorce him, it's not going to make a difference. So, and she's right. I'm here in America, and I don't feel like it has made a difference that I said, oh, I'm not talking to you anymore. Because I have to talk to him, because he has, I have his son. I saw this trick. It's not a trick, it's like a contouring thing where you get rid of your double chin by going dark under here. So we're gonna try this out. I'm just gonna carve out. And this is the Fenty Beauty contour stick. Ooh. I mean, I see a little something going on, but I don't really feel like I did it right. I feel like I need to do some highlighting too. And I'm trying to do all that today. A few weeks ago, he told me that she was pregnant, and they have moved to London. He had been going back and forth to London, a lot. And I'm like, why do you keep going back and forth to London? Like, you got some new girl there. I'm like, you trying to have wives in every country or some shit. So, lo and behold, it was for her. It was for her. He's saying that he was going to get away from everything and blah, blah, blah. But I think he was going to set things up for her because they wanted to move to London. That's what I think. Who knows what the truth is, because they both lie. So it is what it is. But the last couple times he went, usually when he goes to London, he was traveling by himself, and he talks to me so much more. And he's so loving, and he's so attentive, and he's so like everything I always wanted in him. And then when he goes back to Nigeria, it's totally different. But this time he was in London, but he was still acting like he was in Nigeria. Like I was barely hearing from him. He wasn't talking the same and things like that. And that lets me know something ain't right. Something ain't right. But he wasn't really talking to me. And then I think I was talking to him, and I heard her in the background or something like that. And I was like, why didn't you tell me you was traveling with her? So this is why you're not talking to me the same, because you are traveling with her and you're not by yourself. So whatever. And then when we was in Nigeria, he seemed like really stressed because he was between both of us. He'll leave my place and go to her place or their place where they live together. And he seemed stressed. He seemed overwhelmed. He seemed like he didn't know what to do with two wives. He seemed like, it just seemed like, a lot for him. So I felt like he wasn't really giving me the attention that I deserved, that our family deserved. Like he should have been with us throughout those whole 2 weeks. Like he should not have even gone home at all. That's how I feel. Because it should have been like, hey, these people are only here for 2 weeks, and let's just pretend like I'm on vacation and I'm in London without you, and I'm gonna take care of this side of my family. Because I feel like that would have been the right thing to do. But no, he split his time. He missed appointments with us. He said he was coming to some things that he didn't come to. And there's a blog on that too. There's a whole blog. I will just link the whole Nigerian vacation blog down below, so you can see my whole trip to Nigeria. So, and I remember we had unprotected sex there, and he gave me the morning after pill because he was like, Kenny, which is his other wife's name, doesn't want me to get you pregnant. I don't want to get pregnant either. but the morning after pill, like, I felt so disrespected, y'all. So disrespected. Anyway, I mean, it's just so many things that he has said and done that should be a very clear sign to me. It's like the red flags are still coming and I'm still not paying attention to them. I'm paying attention to them. I see them. I know them. But I don't know what to do with it. Because it's like we have a son together. And it's not like he's in my face. He does pay for Prince's school fees, you know, outside of the scholarship and the financial aid that we get for his Catholic school that he attends. He pays the rest of the balance, which is about $1,600. He's not like giving with money. Like, I have to ask and I have to, you know, explain to him, hey, this is I need to do this. And I have to remind him, and I have to remind him, and I have to remind him, and he'll finally come through with it. So I just get to the point where it's just like, if you don't want to offer to take care of your kid just by yourself, this is your son. This is your son that you're feeding. I just don't know. Guys, I just don't know how to feel. I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't know. I've never been in this situation before. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I just know that I'm not happy. I'm not comfortable with the situation as it is. But I don't know what I want to do about it. So anyway, once he tells me his wife is pregnant, I'm just like, only thing I'm thinking is like, you barely providing for me now. Barely. Are we going to have any money left for your son in America? Are you still going to pay his school fees? Or I mean, because kids cost money, especially now that you're in London. Like that, the London money is bigger than Nigeria money. So, are you going to have money to take care of Prince? Let me know now, because if I have to do it by myself, I need to prepare. So even without him saying that, I already know I gotta do this by myself. He ain't gonna be able to pay. He's saying yes. He's saying how much is it, when is it due. He's saying all the right things. But child, I'm preparing to do it by myself because I can't trust him. And I guess you may say, why not divorce him? Because divorce is not going to make a difference. He's already in another country. I'm not going to get child support. I'm not going to get no alimony. I'm not going to get anything. Okay? Divorce does not benefit me. The only thing that divorce does is allow me to marry someone else. And I do not, let me repeat, do not want to get married again. I'm trying to do some Oprah and Stedman. Okay? I'm trying to be together forever with no paperwork. Because I don't like paperwork. It makes it so hard when you break up and you're ready to go your separate ways. Now you got to pay a lawyer to do all this stuff. I never want to get married again. Let's have the ceremony. Yep, let's get dressed up. Let's have the ceremony, but let's not never sign no marriage license. That's where I am in my life. And if the person that's with me don't agree with that, then he don't need to be with me. And that's just it, and that's all. I'm getting ready to put on a wig. Oh man, it's a lot. That's a lot of gray hair. That is a lot of gray hair. At this point in my life, like I said, I do not want to get married again. I want to be in a committed relationship, and I would even consider being in a throuple. But I do not want to get married. Okay? That is not the goal. The goal is to travel more. The goal is to get skinny. The goal is to have a lot of love making. Okay? A whole lot of relations. A whole lot of that. But I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to commit to anything, because commitment is overrated. It's overrated, in my opinion. But I do know that there's a lot of successful relationships out there, and especially black love. I love black love. Don't get me wrong. I love to see people in love and, you know, being married. There's a lot of YouTubers that I follow here that are married and doing well or not doing well, child, we don't really know. We don't really know how they doing. We just know what they tell us. My house, even my best friend has found love after her marriages really ended, and she's found new love. Like, I'm happy my sister has found love. Oh my God, like there's a lot of people finding love around me, so I know that it's possible for me to find love. But that's not the problem. The problem ain't finding love. The problem is staying in love and dealing with this whole situation I got. Like, I feel like it would be very unfair to a significant other if I'm still stuck in this. Like, I can honestly say I still love my husband. And I'm trying to fall out of love with him. Like, I don't want to love him. Trust me, I do not. I don't want to hate him either, but I definitely do not want to love him. I want to just be cool. Like, I want us to just be friends and be not a throuple or a polyamorous relationship, but just be good co-parents. Just be a blended family. That's literally all I want. And I feel like I want to get to know his wife more, but she doesn't want to know me. And that's going to be a problem because he keeps talking about he wants Prince to come to London and he wants to raise him. Without me? Nigga, you out your damn mind. He's literally out his damn mind. He talking about he want to raise him and take him to school and he wish he was in London. Keep wishing, bro. Keep wishing. Because if my son ever go anywhere, I'm going to be right there with him. We're going to be it's going to be a team effort. Like, it's kind of like he wants him without me, and he keeps trying to say like it's gonna benefit YouTube because you don't have to do as much and you can focus on YouTube. And listen, I don't want YouTube more than I want my son. The fuck is wrong with you? Oh dang, this one popped off. Quick little intermission. I feel like it's time for a new set, but I'm gonna try to make this work. Until it don't work. I'm trying to make this work. That's my problem. I'm trying to make some shit work. That's the real issue here. Everything ain't gonna work. Everything is not gonna work. Okay? When he told me his wife was pregnant, I blocked him for a few days. I needed to get my mental together. I was not okay. I was not okay. I was just like, damn. I don't know, child. I don't know. Y'all pray for me. Because something ain't right in my mental for me to be still dealing with this. Like, when I say I'm stressed, that's what I'm talking about. I'm stressed about this dumbass relationship I got. And it's not even a relationship. So, he's been telling me in so many ways for some time now that he does not want me. He wants Prince. But the problem is you don't get Prince without me. You don't make a baby and then try to get rid of the mother. Unless the mother is like straight up trash, you know? She's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's causing her son harm. She's on drugs or something like that. Like, but when you got a good mother like me, not to toot my own horn, but toot, God damn it, toot the motherfucking toot. Shit, I'm a good mother. I'm a damn good mother, and I'm gonna always be a good mother. Raise them? You mean we gonna raise them in the same town? Yeah, I can do that. We can raise them. I'll be willing to go to London so you can raise your kid. I'll be willing to do that. I can compromise on that. But me sending my kid to you and your wife don't even want to talk to me, that's a motherfucking no. That's a motherfucking no. No, bitch, no. order to make that happen, you have to prepare for me to come. Right? I'm gonna need you to find me a place to stay. I'm gonna need you to find me some leads on the job. I'm gonna need you to do a whole lot for me to come. I'm not sending my child to a place where I don't even trust you. Not to mention, guys, when he was in Africa and I let TJ just spend the day with his dad and I was spending the day with my in-laws, he just took Prince to his friend's house and left him there and went down the street to go drinking. Now, granted, there was other kids there. There was like other people there. The females, like all the men left and went drinking, and all the females was there with the kids. That's fine. But do I know any of these bitches? Do I know? Like, it's just not okay. It's just not okay. It's just like, but you want me to send my child to you so you can raise him. Raise him how? Raise him how? How you gonna raise him? Like, you can't even tell me. You don't do things for him now. Like, you don't even have a proper relationship with him for him to even want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to go live with my dad when I got a certain age. Why? Because my dad had built that relationship with me. He showed me that he loved me. He cared for me. He gave me things. He spent time with me. He talked to me. And although he's dead and gone now, and he was gone for a big chunk of my early years, he made it very clear that he loved me and he cared for me and he wanted the best for me. And I just don't see that with him. I don't see him even trying to make it work. But he keeps saying, I'm trying my best. Well, your best ain't good enough, bitch. It's not good enough. And I'm sorry that your little feelings are hurt, because my whole life got turned upside down. So for your feelings to be hurt, it's like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm sorry to be using all these derogatory language, honey, but this is a transparency vlog. And I'm telling you guys how I feel. I'm telling you guys the real. Love yourself more than you love that man. Don't be like me. Don't end up like me in this situation where you feel stuck, you feel uncertain about life. And although I'm like a very confident person, when it comes to this situation, child. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story. It's not really a story. It's like my life. It's what I've been going through. How do you think? How do we do? Do we love it? Do we love it? And just so you know, this was her Growth and Shine balm that I was putting on my hair. You can find this at hernatural.com. Link will be below in the description box. Also, these brows are from GALORE. I have a 10% discount code for you guys. You can click the link in the description box. Basically, go down to that description box and have yourself a ball. Okay? Click. Watch the videos that I recommended. Click on the black-owned businesses that I represent, Her Natural and GALORE. I think I got this wig from... I'm pretty sure I got this wig from Love Me Hair. I think I got this wig from Love Me Hair. So I'll link that down below. Everything will be linked down below. So I'm going to go ahead and get on with my day, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening and not judging. And if you did judge, it's okay. Because this is a very judgmental type of thing. Like, I put myself out there so I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, okay? So if you have judgmental comments, I welcome them. If you have encouraging comments, I welcome them. It don't matter either which way, because at the end of the day, Kim gonna do what the fuck she wanna do. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and comment down below. If you got more questions, ask them and I will answer them in another video. Thank you guys.